And no, I mean, now I'm an actor, but I'm sitting there, I'm saying, how the hell am I going to do this?
I remember the first time when I was a kid and researching because I was obsessed with the movie and finding out who you were and finding out that you had never acted before in that. And I was blown away because so you get the part. You guys filmed it all in 1971. Movie comes out, I want to say like March 72, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Somewhere in there? Okay. What was your first experience on set? I assume you had like a giant cast meeting before you ever go to film and stuff like that, where you meet the rest of the cast. Like, what did the other actors think of you?
That is a classic. The only saving grace for me, I would have probably got fired. The first cast meeting was 119th Street, Patsy's. Now, I used to go up there all the time because I used to bring overnight loans up there for Costello. Because, that's Fat Tony Salerno's place. Oh, yeah. And they had Ziggurat games and all that. So when they put the call sheet out that's where the thing, the rehearsal's going to be, I go. And I had that time, I had a 65 Bentley with a Chinese chick chauffeur. I'm wearing Brioni suits already. So I go up there earlier because I wanted to see Tony Federici, Danny Pagano, all these really guys were there all the time in the afternoon. So they said to me, what are you doing here so early? I said, I'm here for the movie. I said, what movie? The Godfather movie? Yes, yeah. I said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm acting. I got a big part. They said, are you crazy? Get out of here. And everybody I used to say until the movie came out, they thought I was lying about it. Which only leads me to what happens with me and Brando in here. You can't believe this story. I'm shocked you didn't hear this one.
I've heard this one.
Okay.
But you got to tell it on the podcast for people that haven't.
So now,
I didn't realize this was the very first.
Before they bring Brando into the room, the whole cast is there. We're all in line and family, and they said, we're just going to read the script, and, there's no acting. We're going to go through it. Everybody get familiar. But most important, all the Italians, we want you to exaggerate your hand gestures, your eating habits. We're going to have food because the non-Italians, like James Caan being Jewish, Marlon Brando being Polish, have to become Italian the next 5 days in these rehearsals. Mm. And then they said, now we're going to bring him in. Don't have any eye contact with him during the breaks. I know you all want to talk to him.
Brando?
Brando. Don't go near him. Me, I don't care. I'm just happy to be there. We go through the rehearsal, like 45 minutes, going to take a break. Brando comes walking over to me. And I'm looking around, where's he coming? He's coming to me. He says, you're a big TV actor. I said, no. He says, you got a big movie coming out. I said, no. He says, well, you're not on Broadway. I know everybody on Broadway. I said, you're right again. What's this, a quiz show? Because I ain't going to be intimidated by Brando. What do I care?
You're not even an actor.
Guess what he says, though? He calls Coppola over. He says, Francis, this guy's not an actor. And Coppola didn't hire me. Coppola did not hire me. Joe Colombo hired me.
Yeah.
And he rolled his eyes. He knew I wasn't an actor. He says, and I never broke down the script. He says, this guy marries my daughter, undermines my family, gets my oldest son, Sonny, killed, gets my son, Michael, involved in the business. You got to rethink this. You got to fire him.
And you're standing right there.
I'm standing there. Now, I don't know protocol. I don't know. I can't dismiss Coppola. He's the director. I said, Francis, do me a favor. Go over there, man. And he goes. Now the whole room, all these thespians that know all this, they're all saying, like, who's this guy? Sterling Hayden's dead. Richard Conte, these are major actors.
Yes.
Now, I create a sacrilege. I put my arm around Brando. I said, come over here. I want to talk to you. Because I didn't want to embarrass the guy. And I knew there was no zig and egg game in the back. So I get him out of earshot. I'm face to face with him. I said, let me tell you something, Mr. Brando. All due respect, I know who you are. But you get me fired. You get me fired from here, I will suck on your heart. You will bleed out. You hear me? And he's looking at me. He steps back. He says, "That was brilliant."
That was excellent.
He thought I was acting. I was ready to take the bomb out. I couldn't go back to the neighborhood if I didn't get the part after this.
He's like, that guy will do. He's good. He can act.
And we became very close friends.
Did he actually think you were acting? Like doing that?
Did he? I'm telling you what he did. Dick Smith, his makeup man, he's on every film with him. Took him 3 hours every day to transport him into that.
Yeah.
He used, and you couldn't go near the dressing, you couldn't do none of that. And we were on the compound up there in Staten Island.
That's where they
In
filmed
the
where his
houses,
house was. Yeah,
but
yeah.
we were using them as dressing rooms, the interiors. And he said, "Go get that kid," and we'd run lines. He came on the set on time for me to shoot. He wasn't working that day when Pacino and I were going to do that scene. And you could see the ADs, number one's number, who told number one to come? They were all, and he said, "I'm here to help that kid."
Wow. You were getting lessons from the greatest actor to ever fucking do it.
Because when he said to me, and it's on screen now, he's when he hands you the airline ticket, what are you going to do? I said, "I don't know." He said, "I want you to look at the ticket. You read the script. You know you're going to die, but you can't telegraph that. You're on an 18-foot screen. They're going to see it. You got to think. So you got to look at that ticket like it's a security blanket. Wow. You're going to get out of here. I'm really going to get to Vegas." So that was that whole thing. And then when you tear up, and no, I mean, now I'm an actor, but I'm sitting there, I'm saying, how am I going to do this?
I remember the first time when I was a kid and researching because I was obsessed with the movie and finding out who you were and finding out that you had never acted before. And I was blown away because I can't see anyone else doing that role. I mean, I'm sure some great actors could have done it, but you nailed it. I mean, everything felt method actory. You know what I mean? Like it felt very real. Obviously, we all know the visceral, nasty scene where you got to beat up your wife in the movie and everything, but you just embodied the whole thing. But to hear the backstory of that last scene,
that's it.
That's amazing because to me, like that's what makes the actors great. Making things simple and relatable at the same time. And that's exactly what he was telling you to do. You nailed it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's so funny because, as we sit here and talk about it even now, it's like, that, I don't know what I would be doing today if I was not in that movie. Is that crazy to say?
No, it's not, because you were a young man when this was happening, and this set your whole life on a whole different. Yeah. You had a major part in, hands down, without question, the greatest thing ever captured on film artistically. Yeah. I mean, do you ever pinch yourself with that? Just like, holy shit.
Well, I think about it all the time. I mean, my house is surrounded by Godfather. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
But and it's not over.
No, and they obviously they've put it in the American Film Institute, the official role that they did, but they've retouched it up over the years. You watch it now, minus the one part that they can't retouch because it's in the archives where Sonny's hand misses your face. Right. That's like the only mistake in the whole movie.
They can't touch it because once I found this out, the 25th anniversary, we'll go to San Francisco. Yeah. And we're watching the movie, and the thing is still in there. I said, "Francis, why didn't you recut that?" He said, "We can't touch the negative because it's an Academy Award winner."
And that's what's crazy is that the one mistake is in that scene where we can probably put this in the corner of the screen, Alessi, but where Sonny is beating you up, and they have the side shot of Jimmy Caan where his fist misses the front of your face.
And I react to it.
Yeah, and you're like, ah! Yeah. But
and you know what's so funny? We had that covered. There was 7 cameras rolling from the root, everything.
But also the scene was didn't he really hurt you in this scene?
Oh my God, yeah, he did. Jimmy
he missed you on that shot, but the irony is he was really hitting you and shit.
Well, the way he really hit me was with the garbage pail covers. They were steel.
Oh,
so he chipped my elbow. And then I knew I had to crawl out because we choreographed it the day before. There was like 17 different camera setups from the porch where I was run across the street. Then he throws me over the banister, and then he beat him. And then I had to crawl out at the end of the scene when he drop kicks me and rolls me over to the hydrant. Now, we had that all down. As soon as he touched me, I rolled. He lifted me up and broke 2 ribs that day. No, he hated me.
Now you're the background there. You and Jimmy Kahn from the get-go didn't get along. Why was that?
I found out later on because Jimmy Kahn, as I said earlier, was cast as Michael.
Yeah, you can see his tryout tape for that. That's on the internet.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
He thought me taking the part and everybody getting involved, that's how he got the smaller part of Sonny. Sonny was gone halfway through the first one. Couldn't come back.
Do you think Coppola would have ever stuck with him for Michael, though? Because he didn't look the part.
No way.
Right?
But that was Bobby Evans wanted him. Because don't forget, he just did Brian Piccolo. He had all the TVQ stuff.
Yeah.
They were looking at box office movie stars. Ryan O'Neal was up for it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
was he a dick to you from the start, though?
Oh, from the start.
Like the first day you were in Patsy's was just giving you the cold shoulder?
Well, from day one, always. Like I was one of them, you know.
Got it.
Yeah.
But the
Robert
FBI,
Duvall and what?
The FBI opened a file on him. Apparently, I don't know if this is like I've heard
because
this
because of Junior Persico.
Yeah, because he was hanging out with all the mobsters.
Oh, you don't hold it. I'll tell you another story when Tommy Bilotti was with me and Boozy DeChico. You know the last name, Frankie Boy DeChico, who got shot down in Brooklyn, the underboss. Well, Boozy DeChico was a boss in the Gambino family. And I was out with him. I know the guy 100 years. So I'm with Tommy Bilotti, Boozy DeChico in Gillies on 52nd Street on a Saturday night. We're at the front bar. Mm-hmm. Jimmy comes out and he says, Junior's in the back and he wants you to come and say hello. He's with his daughter. I know Junior 100 years. So I go back there, we hug, we kiss, and Junior had nobody knew, he had a gimp hand. So we had something in common with polio. So I'm looking at her, and then I turn around and said, Junior, your daughter's gorgeous, my God. And he looked at me, and one thing about him, he telegraphs. And I said, Jimmy just set me up. And I left. So before going back to the bar, I went down to the stairs. So as soon as I go down the stairs, I don't catch it. They're behind me. 2 of Junior's guys follow me down. Tommy Bilotti catches it. Goes down. I'm at the urinal. They come in. One guy stands in the door on the inside. And the guy in the urinal, hey, asshole, you just embarrassed Junior. That's his girlfriend, not his daughter. And just as I say that, Tommy, I don't know if he hit it with his shoulder or whatever, but he pushed, the bathrooms are narrow, pushed the guy, get his head and bangs it on the sink.
Oh. A little jujitsu.
He said, now what are you going to do? He said, well, this punk and banging against him. He says, what's this about? And he said, well, he went to the table and it was Junior's girl. He said, well, your friend, your Jewish friend, told him that Junior was there with his daughter. By this time now, Boozy's there. So Boozy goes upstairs. They could talk, Junior and him, because they're both made guys. Everybody else wasn't made yet. So they go in the kitchen in Gillies. Next, they call Jimmy. Jimmy goes back there and you hear, pa, pa. Junior smacks him twice.
Oh, I thought it was a gun sound first.
No. Smacks him. So we walk back, and he apologized to me, Junior. He said, Johnny, I'm sorry. This guy wants to hang around with me to learn. He's playing this part. I said, I know. He said, well, I'm going to teach you something, Jimmy. Junior says to him, he says, now they own you. He said, what do you mean? He said, well, you did something here. This guy is a friend of ours. Johnny's a friend of ours. You're a friend on the street. But
He said friend of ours?
Yeah, meaning me.
Yeah, interesting, though. Interesting language choice there.
So Tommy wanted to kill him that night. I said, Tommy, we're shooting the movie. You kill him, the movie's over. So, and Tommy got right in his face. I own you that. You heard him say it. I own you. I'll get even with you. Never happened.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.